Draymond Green on his podcast reacted to the Jaylen Brown trade to the 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, and spoke on people calling it an even swap.
You hardly see players, especially great young players, sent away to interdivision rivalry teams. I remember one year Al Horford leaving the Celtics and going to the Philadelphia 76ers, and everybody was like, yo, what the hell? Why would he do that? And, well, now you have the Boston Celtics trading one of their star players, homegrown, a guy who they drafted. When I say homegrown, I mean, again, a guy that they drafted and has grown up in this league as a Boston Celtic.
I don't know why they got rid of Jaylen Brown. That's crazy.
Became a champion as a Boston Celtics, a finals MVP as a Boston Celtic. Jaylen Brown traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. You know, I saw someone say, oh, man, this is just about an even swap. And no disrespect to Paul George, but this isn't an even swap. I got a lot of love for PG.
Paul George is old.
But like myself, PG is 36 years old. Not like myself, I'm going into year 15. I think PG is going into year 17. And Jaylen Brown, not even 30 years old. He's 29 years old, and he's going into year 11. So, and by the way, he won Finals MVP 2 years ago. I think he just made All-NBA second team this year. Was arguably, controversially, possibly could have been a first-team performer, but the votes are what they are. So it's not an even swap, like when you're talking just player for player. It's not. And I don't think, that's no shot at PG. I don't think Paul George would say at this point in his career, him and Jaylen Brown are an even swap. When I look at sports media and I see people saying that, either one, you're not smart, or two, you're trying to lessen the value of Jaylen Brown. You're trying to make it out as if Jaylen Brown isn't Jaylen Brown. And I just think that's bull. No disrespect to PG. PG is a first ballot Hall of Famer, all of that.
No question.
But to say today, July 2nd, 2026, that Jaylen Brown and Paul George is an even swap, I struggle with that badly. Because it's just not real. Like, again, you're talking a guy who won Finals MVP 2 years ago, missing who most would say is the best player on his team in Jason Tatum this past year. Moved on from
I agree.
Al Horford was no longer there. Drew Holiday was no longer there. The guys that were no longer a part of there. And obviously Jason Tatum missing 60 games. Everyone felt like last year for the Boston Celtics was kind of like a reset year, get under the tax, reset and try to reboot and retool for when Jason Tatum's back healthy. And Jaylen Brown had other plans. Jaylen Brown did not let that team drop off at all. Now, ultimately, were they going to win in the playoffs without Jason Tatum? No. It's different. But they were the 2 seed in the East. To say that everyone believed and thought they were going to be that, you're lying. We all thought it was a throw in the towel year, we'll try again next year. Jaylen Brown had other plans and went and played at an MVP caliber level to keep that team right where they were.
He did.
To say he and Paul George is the same, you're just trying to lessen what Jaylen is. And I don't think that's right. And I don't think Paul George would agree with that. And now you tack on the 2 first-round picks, and for those saying, oh, man, that's an even swap of a player, then why is Philly sending 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and a pick swap? Why? If the players are even trade. If I'm Jason Tatum, I'm livid. Because regardless of what anyone says, we all know the player that Jaylen Brown is. And you're going to send this dude to the same division as me with a chip on his shoulder, and I got to play this man 4 times a year? I'd be livid if I was Jason Tatum. Like, what are we doing here?
Draymond Green on his